My name is Mason. You've seen me around. First timer coming over from Birdland Bash is my good friend Joey. Joey, how you doing today?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we got the certified ball knower on the show today, so we got a whole lot of stuff to talk about. Getting started here, a little bunt down the line, going down to first base. The Miami Marlins were kind of a controversial team for this show because in the preseason predictions episode, I may or may not have made the bold prediction that where I believe I said, quote, the Marlins might fuck around and win 85 games. The Marlins are probably the hottest team in baseball right now. Joey, what do you think has been like the driving force of the Marlins, and do you think that they're going to be able to stay competitive long term and compete for a wild card?
They're an interesting team looking at the numbers, kind of how they've gotten to where they are. From what I've seen has been the driving factor is the bullpen, which crazy enough, they've got a random collection of names. The most notable name being Pete Fairbanks, and he's been the worst one. But they're fourth in bullpen ERA, which is like so crazy to me that these random group of guys are coming in and shutting it down because the starter ERA is 23rd in the league. So that plus batting wise, Otto Lopez leads at least the NL in batting average. I'm not sure if it's the entire of the majors, and they're also first in the league in stolen bases. So very interesting way for them getting things done. It's kind of different than I feel like teams are going towards. Like the power pitcher's going to give up some home runs, going to hit a lot of home runs. They're kind of doing the opposite, but it's working for them. Max Meyer has been elite, 2.8 ERA, he's 8-0. And this is even with some of their pitchers being injured, like Yuri Perez and Jansen Junker currently on the IL. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's they're definitely an interesting team. So it'll be cool to see what they do around the deadline because I know they've kind of constantly been talking about selling Sandy away. um, so we'll see what they do. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun team.
Teams have been linked to getting Sandy at the deadline for about 5 years now. And now is probably like the year that they're not going to do it. They got a couple teams to jump, which can get weird, but still a lot of time left. I actually went back, I believe it was yesterday, and listened to the episode and like I gave my reasoning for why the Marlins are going to be all right. And I could not have been more wrong on like a lot of things. A couple of guys that I pointed out in like their offseason additions and stuff like that, and like guys that I thought were going to take a next step. Like, I mean, I said that Christopher Morel was going to be good for them. He got DFA'd. Agustin Ramirez got sent down, but there's a couple guys where you really did not see this coming. I mean, Max Meyer has kind of been on people's radar as a guy that was supposed to maybe take the step forward. Xavier Edwards was really good last year. Otto Lopez hit a bunch of bombs. Obviously we didn't know that they were going to get Owen Casey back after the Edward Cabrera trade. Owen Casey is starting to figure it out. He started off pretty slow, which I feel like happens for a lot of really young guys. Maybe they come out hot out the gate, and the league figures them out, and then it's a big thing for me in terms of evaluating young talent, where it's like, sure, you can be good, but when the going gets bad, how are you going to be able to adjust? And over the last 2 weeks, Owen Casey has an 846 OPS, which is well above average. Starting to turn to the guy that we've kind of, put the label on. And I mean, Kyle Stowers, which he was probably supposed to be the guy for the Marlins. I mean, you talked about the rotation. The injuries are kind of a little bit unfortunate. But Yuri Perez and Jansen Junker are both supposed to be coming back pretty soon. But I think if you're going to talk about the Marlins, you can't not talk about Liam Hicks. 278 batting average, 13 homers, 831 OPS. He's really been a guy that nobody's heard of, quite frankly. The Marlins kind of just do this where they slap a couple of guys together and they'll figure it out. Going back to Pete Fairbanks, who was another guy that I brought up when I was like, watched him on the Rays just mow down the Orioles for years. Yeah, 6.14 ERA. Somehow has 11 saves. I mean, I think the Marlins can do it. It's it's a very cluttered National League right around that 500 number. The Nats are right there. The Pirates are right there. Uh, Diamondbacks are 500. Padres are 3 games over. Cubs are 3 games over. Cubs are the last team that's currently in the wild card right now. But I mean, when you're a game back, pretty much all you can do is just, you know, think about winning. Um, which maybe the Marlins have kind of benefited from playing not great teams. I mean, they're coming off a sweep of the Giants, dropped a series to the Phillies, won the series against the Pirates, swept the Diamondbacks, and took a series against the Rays at home. Do you think they have what it takes to make like a deep run, or is it kind of just like, maybe it depends on the deadline moves? Like, what do you think that they need to do at the deadline to maybe think about making a deep run?
I mean, they for sure need to buy. That's the first thing. I mean, I feel like the Marlins have kind of always been this team where they've always been talking about trading away pieces to get prospects, but I feel like you're kind of seeing sort of the same path as maybe the Orioles have taken the past couple of years. Maybe without the high high quality draft picks. I feel like they haven't really had something too crazy unless I'm missing out on somebody. But I mean, they for sure need to buy. They have a couple guys, starters in AAA right now, and Thomas White, who was one of their most recent high draft picks, and Carson Milbrandt, who could come up and bolster that rotation that we've talked about hasn't been the best. And then again, Agustin Ramirez can come up and be back like he was his rookie year at some point. I mean, they need power hitting. I don't personally think that this is a team ready to make a deep postseason run. None of the guys on the team have postseason experience, at least deep postseason experience. They're fairly young. Again, it's kind of like the young Orioles team that somehow won 100 games. Now this team is not going to win 100 games, um, but it's kind of the same vibe where they're surprising a lot of people, and they could make the playoffs. But in my opinion, I don't think they can really do anything with that, which is why I feel like the deadline for them is going to be kind of a weird spot because I think they could buy, but also I don't think they're ready at least this year to go like completely crazy, get a whole bunch of things, and then still be able to make a push. I think they maybe wait a year or two for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of like stay put, play out the season, see how it goes, and then make a move in the next year or two.
Man, it's bad going on in San Francisco. 31 and 46, 15 games below 500. They're a game above the Rockies for the worst record in baseball. Now, they have a lot of big contracts, which were kind of part of their strategy, if you will, to buy players to try to, make a run, and it has not been good. Devers has been a basket case on top of not performing well. And there's rumors that the Giants are shopping Rafael Devers, Willie Adames, and Matt Chapman, among probably others. Do you think it's time for the Giants to just blow it up?
Yeah, it's time. Blow the whole thing up. They're horrible. I don't know how they win any games that aren't pitched by Logan Webb. Like it's actually insane how bad it is and like how bleak the future looks. I was looking at their top prospects. Out of their top 10 prospects, only one of them is above high A that hasn't already been in the majors. Because Blade Tidwell's number 9, he's already been in the majors. They have one that's above high A and he's in double A. Like they are nowhere near like adding pieces out of their prospect pool, at least at the top, to improve the roster. I mean, Bryce Upton has come up and been really good. Drew Gilbert hasn't been all that they've hoped for, at least so far. And then they have like Blade Tidwell and Carson Wisenhunt, who are their number 9th and 11th prospects that have both already been up in the majors. So they definitely need like organizational help in the prospect room, and you are 15 games under 500. You're getting mentioned in conversations with the Rockies. You have a negative 54 run differential. Like, eh, other than Bryce Eldridge and Jung Hoo Lee, for some reason, all of a sudden, there is not really like a bright spot to the team. And I guess Luis Arise. Half of the lineup is batting below 250. It's just like there's just not, and you're not stealing bases. You're not hitting a bunch of home runs. Like there's nothing that they're doing that if you're in charge of the organization and the franchise that you're like, oh, this is something we can build on. There is nothing there. You just need a reset, build around Bryce Eldridge, build around some prospects that you're going to get for some of these players. I mean, they're under contract for a long time. Like you're going to get good value off that, and they've shown that they can be like those elite players, like Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, Rafael Devers. They've all shown like they could be at least top 10 at their position, maybe even all of them top 5. But you can't sit here and sit on these contracts and think that something is magically going to change because you're not going to buy. You don't have the prospects to buy right now, and you don't have the prospects to come up and immediately help you within the next 3 years, probably. So I feel like they need to do something to get back on track because what they've got going right now is clearly not working.
Shout out Casey Schmidt. Hey, 296 average, 16 homers leads the team. All I'm saying. Has been very good for my fantasy team as well. W pickup from me. My issue with the Giants in terms of blowing it up is that you have to find teams that are willing to take on these monstrous contracts. Um, Devers just signed that deal. It was 10 for 313. I mean, even Adamas is 7 for 180. Matt Chapman is 6 years, 150. I mean, and these guys aren't even playing good either. Like, it's tough to, get a massive haul from them because they haven't even been, above average in some places. I mean, Rafael Devers is batting 238 with a 735 OPS, which is like barely above average. Willie Adames is batting 223 with a 686 OPS, which is a 94 OPS plus. Plus, he's the worst defender in baseball by outs above average. I mean, Matt Chapman, of course, his glove is good. Definitely an above average defender, but a 243 average with 716 OPS. I mean, we're talking about marginally replaceable players this season, and these guys are getting paid like superstars. I mean, Luis Rise was pretty much the first name to come up in terms of guys who might get traded at the deadline. I want to run something by you and see what you think. Do you think it makes sense for them to try to get something for Logan Webb?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, this might just be a me thing. I feel like I just can't like fathom the idea of him being in another team's jersey. I don't know. That's obviously not like a driving force of if he should be traded or not. But I think Logan Webb, and I'm like, oh, he's just on the Giants. So I mean, you could for sure. He's been the only one on the team, at least recent. Before he was injured, it wasn't great, but the last like 3 or 4 starts since he came back from his injury, he's been the Logan Webb we know. Um, I mean, I don't see why not. To be honest, if I'm the team, I'm listening to anybody that's got any offers for me. So I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, I mean, and he's on a team friendly deal too. He's 29 years old. 5 years, 90 million is the contract. He's a free agent in 2029. I mean, 335 ERA, 1.1 whip. It's kind of just the Logan Webb that we've known. He's going to take the ball and throw 7 innings probably. Led the league in innings pitched the last 3 years.
Send him our way.
Where does he go?
Send him our way.
I mean, I would love it, but Chicago?
Realistically, you talking
The
about the Cubs
Cubs?
or the
The Cubs.
maybe I could see that. I mean, it's weird because I don't know what teams are gonna buy. Like I
Yeah.
could see him going to St. Louis. They're first in the NL. Um, so I mean, there's definitely places that he could go. I mean, Pittsburgh, if you want to get like real crazy with it. Um, and the AL, I mean, obviously Orioles, Rangers, A's, like they do something, and you always have to throw in like the Yankees or the Dodgers because they're always going to do some dumb whatever and just get every good player in baseball. So
All roads lead back to LA Dodgers.
yeah,
Kind of some shocking news to some. The top All-Star vote getter for the American League was Ernie Clement. Shade over 2 million votes, blows second place out of the water for the second base position. Um, Now, Ernie Clement has kind of had some stuff with the Orioles this season, which I'm going to try to not bring up or let impact my opinion. Joey, what's your initial reaction to Ernie Clement?
I've kind of gone back and forth with this. First of all, I think it's crazy he's over 2 million. Him and Shohei are the only people above 2 million votes, which is ridiculous. The next closest second baseman has a little over 500,000. So you're telling me Ernie Clement is 1.5 million votes better than the next closest second baseman. That to me is insane. But I was looking at some of the numbers and I was comparing him to other second basemen that have been around the top in second base votes and maybe some that shouldn't. The only thing that Ernie Clement leads in is batting average. That is the only one. He is at least just I looked up 6 guys. I looked up Chase Mydrith, Jose Altuve, Ernie Clement, Jazz Chisholm, Travis Bazana, and Zach. Is it Geloff or Geloff? I don't even know.
Geloff.
Zach Geloff. He's Ernie Clement is fourth in WAR. He is second to last in home runs. He's fourth in RBIs, and he's third in OPS plus. Third in OPS. So I mean, the fact that he is that much higher than everybody else is insane. Now, do I think he should start? I mean, you could make a good argument for it. I mean, I know a lot of people just look at batting average and they're like, "Oh, he has the highest batting average. He should start." Jazz has more home runs, more RBIs, 20 more stolen bases, a lower OPS plus. Travis Bazana has the highest OPS plus out of all of them, has a higher WAR than Ernie Clement. Zach Geloff leads in WAR, also with 11 home runs, is slugging 500. So like the fact that it's not even a discussion in the American League is ridiculous. Like respect to Ernie Clement, I like he could get it, maybe he should get it, but not by 1.5 mil and the only other person above 2 mil other than Shohei. Jordan Alvarez doesn't even have 2 mil.
I think Ernie Clement should be the starting second baseman. I, in terms of like the slugging stuff, if it was of any other position other than second base, probably. But I feel like a lot of the times your second baseman is your scrappy contact hitter that plays good defense, which maybe that's just old fashioned of me. And, I scour when I look at a team like the Padres, who have for some reason been putting Fernando at second. Blows my mind. What do I know? I mean, I'll give him his flowers. He's 293 batting average, 20 doubles, leads the American League, and he plays probably the best defense out of all of them. I'll give him that. I have a serious problem with fan voting. It's gotten bad in terms of the Blue Jays having an entire country voting for him. There are players that shouldn't even be sniffing the All-Star game that are probably going to start. And that's a problem. Ernie Clement is the one that makes sense. Vladdy is the leader at first base. 283 batting average, OPS plus is 103. He has been barely above average in terms of slugging. Sure, good defense, I'll give him that. But when you have guys like Ben Rice and Nick Kurtz and Pete Alonso, even if you want to go there, and I mean, even guys, like Jonathan Aranda, who just have been playing so much better than than Vladdy, and he's blowing the voting out of the water. Don't even get me started on Alejandro Kirk, dude. That's the one that drives me up the wall the most. 837,000 votes is second place. He has played 12 games this year. Like, you have guys, I mean, Shea Langelier is the front runner. That's not a question. But you're going to tell me one of Dylan Dingler, Adley Rutschman, or Ryan Jeffers isn't an all-star this year? That's absolutely ludicrous for a guy who's not even playing good in the 12 games that he's played. He has a 583 OPS. His OPS plus is like a 20. He's been like god awful. It's not even like he's been stellar. This one, outside of Alejandro Kirk, is the one that grinds my gears the most. Why is George Springer in second place for designated hitter? His OPS plus is 92. He is below average bat for a position that is just hitting. Like, that's nuts. Like, Yordan Alvarez should absolutely be the starter. George Springer shouldn't even be a thought. Like, Yandy Diaz has the highest qualified batting average in the American League. Somehow, Giancarlo Stanton is in fourth place. That doesn't even make sense. Fan voting drives me up the wall.
Have you looked at who's in second place for the shortstop position?
Yeah, I got him one there too. Trust me. I got Andres Jimenez with his 75 OPS plus and his 234 batting average. In second place for the shortstop. Ahead of Kevin McGonigal and Jeremy Payne, who's been hurt. Colson Montgomery is a superstar.
Yeah, Colson Montgomery in fifth place is a crime for how good Chicago has been and how packed their stadium has been for their games. Letting your star shortstop be in fifth place is outrageous. Now, I get you're fighting a whole country, but we got to fight a little bit harder. Like Colson Montgomery being in fifth place is crazy.
Like, we talk about the Dodgers and like how they're leading at every position when you have guys like Shohei Ohtani, who's probably the greatest baseball player ever. And I mean, Freddie Freeman's a Hall of Famer. I mean, even Mookie Betts hasn't even been that good, and he's the top hitter at shortstop. Somehow I saw Kyle Tucker was up there. He's got booed.
He's been horrible.
He got booed and might make the All-Star game. But the Dodgers are 50-29. They are good. The Blue Jays, or actually, you said they lost today, right? They're below 500 now.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something's got to change, man. To a, I guess, related topic. I guess we'll talk about people that actually deserve to make the All-Star game. The outfield spots are, they vote 6 guys in. Six guys make the team by fan voting for both the American and the National League. Who do you have starting? Now, for the American League, it's Trout, Judge, and Buxton are the top 3 getters. But obviously, those guys deserve it. Judge and Trout are both hurt, so they're probably not going to get it. So, who else? Like, first pitch in the All-Star game, top of the first inning, or I guess bottom of the first, whichever is the, home and road team. Doesn't matter. Who is starting in the outfield, do you think?
All right, so for the AL, obviously Buxton, he's the healthy one. He for sure should get it. After that, me personally, I'm gonna go Riley Green for one of them, and then I'm kind of between a couple options. I have Julio Rodriguez, Cody Bellinger, and Jack Caglione. Jack Caglione, it's kind of been his emergence. He started off very, very slow. He's hitting around 280, I believe. So I think he could get it. I mean, Julio, you're dealing with first half of the year, Julio Rodriguez. He's not going to be full power Julio for whatever reason. But I mean, he's got double-digit home runs and stolen bases, hitting for solid average, playing really good defense. And then Riley Green is just good average. good amount of home runs. Always a name that's gonna be around. So I mean, yeah, really any of those guys. I mean, for sure, I would want Buxton and Riley Green to be like my two for sure.
I could see a Jack appearance. I don't know if he's going to start. I don't even know if he's going to make it, honestly, because of how packed the outfield, is. And I mean, obviously, the Royals' representative is going to be Bobby Witt because I mean he's going to be the starting shortstop. Yeah, Buxton's a lock. He's having an MVP caliber season so far. I didn't really have Riley Green on my radar. That's not entirely true, but I didn't have him, kind of as a starter. I have Byron Buxton, Riley Green, Cody Bellinger, Jack Caglione, Julio, and Randy Arozarena pulled up. I'm struggling to put Julio in over Randy.
I'm looking at it right now. Jack has the fourth highest OPS out of all American League outfielders, and he is only behind Buxton, Judge, and Trout.
I don't know how the ballpark factor is working for Kauffman Stadium this year because they did bring the walls in, but I mean, obviously that Jack Cagliano's not hitting wall scrapers. Let's be real. This guy, I think when he first got called up, we did a bases loaded episode, and I believe I said if you ever want to see an MLB player use a metal bat, just watch his Florida highlights, which is something along along those lines. I think we're more on the same page for the National League. Who do you got? I mean, Eddie Pajes, Brandon Marsh, and Ronald Acuna lead voting. Ronald Acuna's hurt. Eddie Pajes kind of been falling off, but I mean, if you get the most votes in the position, you start anyway. So maybe this all doesn't matter at the end. But
That's really, oh my god, I didn't
who
realize
do you
that's who
think?
like led voting. That is insane.
Mhm.
Because in my head, I go, okay, there are two clear locks, and they're Juan Soto and James Wood. And looking at it, I guess they're currently at the 6 and the 7 spot um,
Yeah.
in the voting, which is insane to me. Juan Soto is a 965 OPS, and James Wood is a 926. All while leading the NL outfielders in home runs and also having 13 stolen bases. So I feel like that is insane. Also 61 walks. See, I don't know how it's not locked. And then the third one, I was between a couple guys, mainly being PCA, Corbin Carroll, and Jordan Walker as my main three. And I was leaning to go PCA. I mean, he's just been so like insanely hot recently. He's almost 2020.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Soto and Wood are two locks. Uh, Eddie Pajes, I guess the league has kind of figured him out. Um, I don't know. So I mean, that leaves me Brandon Marsh, Jordan Walker, Corbin Carroll, PCA for the last spot. Ah, man.
Also, sneaky Brian Reynolds on base percentage of 401.
He's been hot as of late. I've been getting the notifications every night that Brian Reynolds hit a homer on my team. Um, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to go to Juan Soto. He's going to get booed. It's going to be hilarious. Um, James Wood is also going to get booed.
Get an
And
all NL East outfield.
Michael Harris, there it is. No, yeah, I think I got to give it to Brandon Marsh just for it being in Philadelphia, and it's not like a you know participation award, I'll call it. But I mean, I don't know. We're finally getting Jordan Walker being the guy that he's supposed to be, and I mean, Michael Harris has been really good. And PCA has been hot. So I mean, but we still have what, three? That's right. 2 or 3 weeks of voting left to determine these spots. It'll be really interesting to see how this goes in terms of voting and what the rosters look like. Because there's a couple teams that you're like, you really need to bring a guy, um, this has been Bases Loaded here on the Stacey Sports Network. Check us out on all the socials, Stacey Sports, one word. Keep your eye out for Birdland Bash. So check out the Stacey Sports show, where there will definitely be going over the NBA draft and winners and losers, and of course the Giannis trade. We're just not going to act like that didn't happen.